in startups, so I know how to feel sitting on the other side of the table. And I enjoy participating in these events to meet new startups and investors.
All right. Thank you, Pelin. A few practical things. We have the fire escapes at the bottom of the corridor. We had one just at the entrance. We have lavatories to my right here, which is your left, and a couple of more down in the corridor as well.
And we also have digital coverage.
Exactly. So today we have participators from almost 20 different countries that have signed up. So we have way more people than we have in the room here today. So welcome to you as well, streaming at YouTube.
Yes. Nice.
All right. We have a program. The first hour between 4 o'clock and 5, we have 8 speakers. And obviously, 8 speakers in 1 hour, that's very short speaks. So we have a timer here. We're going to press the button before every speaker goes on stage. So it's 5 minutes each. After that, we will have the demo day, where 8 of the companies from DigitalWell Ventures Accelerator will present their cases, what they do. Half of them are from Sweden, and half of them from Norway. So it's going to be very interesting. We look forward to that. So we have a 2-hour program. Now, what are we going to do after 6 o'clock then, Pelin?
We will just have fun, but before of that, we will just ask you to leave this area and go over there to enjoy your time while we are actually tidying up here so that we can have a larger place to enjoy.
All right. Sounds good. Shall we get started? All right. With me today, I have the lovely Rita Anson from Business Angels Norway. Give her a big applause, everyone.
So good afternoon, evening to everyone. Today I'm here representing Business Angels Norway. As some of you may know, Business Angels Norway is the association of individuals that are business angels around all our country. What we do? One of the things that we provide is training opportunities through projects with the major EU, Nordic Council of Ministers, or even Interreg projects about training on what is for you to be a business angel. And this is something that has been very important for us in the last years, since we have been bringing more individuals to the ecosystem of business angels. We are here today and we want to talk about the importance for us on health tech companies. And regarding that, we will say that in our story in the last 6 years, I'm working as a program manager for Business Angels Norway. Many health tech startups are coming to us, and what we see is that Norway is a perfect landscape because there is a lot of opportunities for them to get also good public funding to develop some of the projects beside the private funding that they can get from the investors. And this is something that is very relevant. Also, we would like to highlight the fact that with more business angels in the ecosystem, these health tech startups, they need perhaps a longer way to be funded. And as a good example, some of the members of Business Angels Norway and also some of the members of Women Investors Network, in which I'm also the co-founder, have created recently an angel investment firm with Icelandic partners, name is Nordic Ignite. Since we have opened very recently for applications to a startup, what we are observing is that a lot of data startups are health tech. And in our case, in Nordic Ignite, what we provide is not only the opportunity to fund the startups, but also we want to help that startups to grow. In our case, we have in this moment 46 co-owners in Nordic Ignite, from which 2 of them are our angel ambassadors here, David Holm and also Stefan Skoglund are part of Nordic Ignite. And what we see is that we don't have expertise in our 46 co-owners in Nordic Ignite for really give the support to these health tech startups, but we are trying to get that expertise also from outside because they are part of the ecosystem and they are very important to be funded. So basically this is all from me. I have not seen the counter because it was always in 5. So I don't know if I'm 5 or 10 or whatever. Yeah, I could be talking about. But I'm going to give the word now to the next speaker, that is, my colleague Janet, also in Women Investors Net. No, you are not? Okay. Thank you. Because she's not.
Somebody else before me. I think.
Gives us a little bit more time to actually mention our next guest, why she's here, because we know that when we name women, then we also talk about pay gap, we talk about glass ceilings, we talk about quotas for board membership and all these things. We also have issues with having more female investors. So our next guest is actually trying to fix that problem, and she's coming from Women Investors Network. Please welcome Jeanette Grandal.
Sorry. Thank you. I'm from WIN, Women's Investment Network, which was founded in 2019 by Rita Ansen and Camilla Andersson and Angela Holte to try to make more women invest. Previously, I worked in She community, but I also really liked the investing part, the most important for women. And this is what we focus on. WIN empowers women to strengthen their financial position and participation in innovation by learning to invest and by investing together. We lower the barrier that hinders women participation in investments by offering job creation and fostering impactful innovations, fixing the world's most pressing issues. Our mission is to increase the participation of women in wealth creation activities, investment, and entrepreneurship, and give visibility to financially empowered women as role models for future generations. The network is designed for women that have the intention of being active investors, but need not have much experience. That's what we want to change. So our range is from beginners to professional investors. We have a personal membership, we have a startup membership, and a company membership designed to create an ecosystem with investors, deal flow, mentoring for startups, and companies willing to educate their employees. We have investment training courses, training, access to relevant investment opportunities, a membership platform, and a co-investment network. Why become a member, and why do women need to start investing? Diversity in investments drive wealth distribution, female entrepreneurship. Be part of the innovation and support the solutions you believe in will make the world a better place with your capital. 500 women have participated in the WIN programs and the events, and 120 plus have done investment training programs. We have membership. Sorry, my little here. What we give to our members is a membership platform with a digital library, a deal wall where we have our startups. We have a discussion. We have master classes. We have 4 networking events every year. In the Women's International Day. Last year, we had a summer party at Ling Ling with our partner Sissener, with 240 women learning about investing in funds. We have an event under Oslo Innovation Week, and we also have a Christmas party. We also have investor breakfasts with access to our deal flow and investment network. We are focused on showcasing high potential Nordic startups that are founded by women. So why become a startup investor? Startups or early age companies are revolutionizing age-old industries. Innovation solutions make our lives better and easier, and some are solving the most complex environmental and social issues. Few of them succeed, but also those who do bring a significant return on investments for the investors, create new jobs, and define the products and services for the future. Our spring, our investment training programs We had one in spring 2020 for Viken and Oslo Kommune with Kjeller Innovasjon, with funds from Viken Kommune. And this winter, we've had an investment training course for younger women with the Young Sisters, for women from age 20 to 35, which was a huge success. We have 20 women that have invested in 9 companies together, like Stack by Me and Feddy Distillery, which is, Feddy Distillery is only owned by women, making whiskey and gin. We have invested 7 million NOK. That is not a lot of money in the investing scene, but for very many women, this is the first time they invested. Which is, and you always maybe start with a smaller amount, but it has really proved that when they first start investing, they invest again. Next year, we will have our investment training course, but we will also start something new called VinVenture. And if any of you are interested in learning more about that, please contact me later. Thank you.
I think what you're doing is very, very important. We know that 1% of managed capital is managed by women, 99% by women. It's a huge challenge, and good work.
I wanted to say also that it's especially important the fact that more women are investing in HealthTech companies, because some of the HealthTech companies we are seeing these days are a specific product for women or services for women. Yes. So the fact that more women are investing in HealthTech companies is also very relevant to get more ecosystem growth.
Thank you for your initiative. Fantastic. Next speaker is coming all the way from UK to help us here in Oslo to develop our business region. And now we're going to listen to Tom. Don't let that fool you, by the way. He knows Norwegian, I just found out. So welcome, Tom. Tell us what you do in HealthTech as well.
Thank you very much. Do you have the clicker? The clicker. Thank you very much. I am British, but I've lived here for 12 years, so I feel very Norwegian. Thank you, David. Thank you for inviting me here today. My name's Tom. I work at Oslo Business Region. Lots of new faces from here today, so I'm hopefully giving you guys some new information here. We're a private company funded entirely by the City of Oslo, and our mandate is to strengthen the startup and scale-up ecosystem. We believe that Norwegian startups and scale-ups are the key to solving global challenges in climate, health, and mobility. They're the 3 sectors that we focus on the most. So for you guys today working in HealthTech, I hope I have something interesting to tell you. We sit in a very unique and I think we're a very lucky position in the middle of the ecosystem, working with lots of different types of players and companies. So, you know, we're working very much all the way up from the top corporates down to startups with 1 employee. We work very, very hard in connecting investors with startups, with scale-ups, working with hubs and accelerators, not only here in Oslo, but around the world, which I'll talk a bit about soon. We have 5 main areas of work. I'll just quickly talk about how we do that. It's worth bearing in mind we're just 7 employees at Oslo Business Region, so everything we do is always in partnership. We never ever work alone, because we are often not the experts. So insights. We provide insight through various different means. We produce an annual report called State of the City, where we measure the startup and scale ecosystem alongside our friends and competitors in the Nordics and in Europe. We recently launched a report, which I will go into more detail, called Startup to Scale Up, which measures, as you can imagine, the progress and the journey of startups becoming scale-ups. And finally, Oslo Outlook, which gets down to the real, you know, how many jobs are being created by scale-ups, how much money is being invested into startups each month. This is all data and insight that we hope and we know that investors and the community can use when going alongside their daily job. Investment, my colleague Tonya, who I think many of you probably have met before, is our investment manager. We have various different projects connected to this, and in fact one today, which is connected to HealthTech. We had a Meet the Investors event where we invited 3 international health VCs to Oslo to meet 20 HealthTech scale-ups. So we try to create these small curated events where we know the startups and scale-ups can get value and hopefully along the way get some more investments. We have a database called Deal Room, where we have lots and lots of numbers and interesting ways to connect with getting new funding. And finally, I see my time is running out already. And I just say I run Oslo Innovation Week. So Oslo Innovation Week is the biggest meeting place for startups, investors, and the community in Oslo. It's a global meeting place, 76 events, 15,000 attendees this year. And we also travel around, so we have events at Slush, Tech Barbecue, going to South by Southwest. And that's all connected to the Oslo brand, because we want to profile Oslo and what we do. We want people to know what is going on in Oslo. I'll skip over that, but scale-ups are very important. And I will get to some health-related numbers, because that's why a lot of you are here today. These are some numbers from our recent Startup to Scale-Up report. I'll pick out a couple of really interesting. I think the fact that 70% of investment in Oslo comes from international investors is super interesting. And it's something that we are working on all the time to attract more foreign investment to Oslo, because that is what the startups need to expand globally and scale, which is what we want to see more of. Companies within healthcare in Oslo raised 108 million euros in rounds in 2021. And to date, we have around 154 health tech companies. You see here scale-ups according to industry in 2021. Health tech and life sciences are actually the third on the list there. So Oslo really is a thriving place to build a health tech company at the moment. So I would 10 seconds left. What I would recommend is, we are like to name check sort of Norway Health Tech, Aleap, Life Science Cluster, Oslo Cancer Cluster, all these amazing clusters and hubs doing work for us. That was it. There's me. Thank you.
Many years of C-level experience, appetite and energy to invest and support startups. We are talking about Steinar Svalesen. Please welcome.
My name is Steinar Svalesen. Very nice to be here. Very nice to see all of you. A little fun fact before we get started, not just a fun fact, but an important metric. Did you know that there are now 29 companies at valuation more than $100 million that were started by women? An important stick in the sand, I think. Okay, what I'm going to talk about today is the overall tech sentiment and how that relates to investments into the health tech ecosystem. I was at Nordic Buyout Forum earlier today, and an important metric, if you look at the listed companies now, is that the price earnings metric is down on an average from 20 to 10 in 12 months at the Oslo Stock Exchange. And what does that mean? It means that the access to capital is harder in a lot of investors that used to have a quite diversified portfolio, either professional or angel investors. They are now looking at where are my values? How can I get liquidity? What's the actual value of the asset that I invested in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years ago? So there was a saying by Speed Invest in another report that I read in preparing for today's talk that said that the tourist investor is gone. And for starters, what does that mean? It means that the initial ticket of the 100,000 KEYNOTE or the smaller ticket sizes, it's much harder to get by. And it's not because there is an unwillingness to invest. It's not necessarily because the case is not profitable or have large potential or the right team. It's just, it's gravity. It means that they have spent the money they have on the extra side. They need to recalibrate. On the good news, though, is that there are a lot of funding available out there. If you look at corporates, again, on the Nordic stock exchanges, their balance sheets are stronger than ever. It means that they have money to invest. It means that there will be acquisitions. You also have a number of early-stage funds and venture funds that raised capital right before the crisis hit, I would say, about a year ago. It means that they have a lot of dry powder. it means that you need to tap into the pockets where they not only have the interest, but also the capability to invest. And that brings me down to a key point here, and that is the value of time. In the early phases of a company, time is crucial, and it feels that you might have abundance of time. You don't really have a lot of time because you need to get from A to B quite quickly, and you need to demonstrate progress and metrics. And is that metrics with respect to a finished product or usage? Not necessarily. It could be trials with larger entities. And I think within the health tech sector, it's especially important to have that early validation because there's competition out there. And the competition can come from someone with a similar technology. It could come from someone with a similar process, or it could even come from someone with a lot of capital. Look at some of the larger PE-funded health tech companies and what they're doing. That's what we do when we meet companies. I meet the companies, I talk to them, and then I go and check, is there anyone who has 100 million NOK or more in funding from last year, which is more or less doing the same thing, or they're likely to do the same thing, or they're likely to invent this particular service as a feature to their existing portfolio and more or less give it away at a highly huge discount or even for free, just to maintain the customer basis. So getting featurized is really a key challenge for many early stage health tech startups, or startups in general for that matter. So what are the big trends? What are we looking at? We're looking at COVID. We're looking at what's going on out there. We're looking at recession on the horizon. But I think there's one key driver for the health tech startups, and that's really the aging population. It's not going away. And we can't really resolve the challenges we see on the horizon with respect to care services without using technology. There isn't really enough hands around to do the things we need to get done the way we do it today. And that's really a huge potential. And if you have the scalability of a base technology as the accelerator into that model, I see a great potential for health tech startups. So what are my best advice to you if you are out fundraising next year? First of all, wait until next year, because 22 is dead. Everyone is just trying to make up whatever they can. But focus, time is valuable, cut costs, preserve cash, simplify everything, develop your profitable core set of services which has the quickest time from idea to revenue. Be consistent in your communication and identify the pockets of dry powder. Thank you.
Steinar, please stay here for a minute. I know that we discussed a few times, you're talking about being counter-cyclical.
Yes.
What do you say about that right now? Are you still counter-cyclical in your investments?
I believe we are. We are raising a technology fund. It's called Ankura Capital. We will launch it mid next year. And the reason is that today you get twice as much company value for half the money compared to a year ago. And if you look at the fund structure of the fund, how they've performed over time, the timing when you initiated the fund is really of great importance. So I'm quite sure that technology will bounce back across different sectors, including healthcare, and then you need to get in now.
We have 8 startups here today. Here's a counter-cyclical investor. Remember that. Okay. Thank you, Steinar. All right. All right. The next company is coming from Oslo. When I first met Crowdworks, it was a couple of years ago, it was a startup. And they developed a community and a platform for investors. I was very impressed. I know that you guys in Business Angels Norway are using it with great success. And now, listen to this. They're starting a global health tech investors platform. So, welcome, Alan. Yeah. Yeah.
Do I have a clicker? Or? Thank you so much, and great being here with this great crowd and some great insights until now. So, my name is Erlend Selmer, and I am one of the founders of Crowdworks. I was recently told that I'm a quick speaker, so I'll try to slow down so that you can hear everything I say. But we founded Crowdworks back in 2016. Today we have around 30,000 investors and 3,500 growth companies in the platform, and growing. So Also a lot of great innovation partners that we are working together with. So it's really fun to see kind of the startup and the scale-up stage as a platform provider. So what is Crowdworks and what is this global health arena? So at Crowdworks, we believe in a more transparent ecosystem where founders that are solving tomorrow's biggest challenges can access the minds and capital that they need. So that is our goal, to be able to provide these great companies a way to reach the right investors, partners, minds and capital. And this is why we actually built this platform back in 2016 and have kept on building it, evolving it. And it's about empowering the founders to enhance and to increase their global visibility. So for those of you who already are using the platform, you know that this is sort of the center of the platform. It's the company pitch. It's the profile of the startup company. So this is a great way for the company to be present, giving them a structure to be presenting themselves in a good way, a standardized way towards the investors. And the investors can flip through, look at interesting companies, put them on their watch list. And this is a way also to enable the companies to keep their information up to date, because we know that that's a problem to find up-to-date information about the ecosystem. So as the company fills in their pitch, all the important information that you know, of course, about their business model and their competitive advantage, invite their team, put up the great videos, upload their pitch deck, etc. And you as investors can then connect with the companies and follow them going forward, put up a good list of companies that you follow. And for maybe click something here. Try next page. It's about identifying for the company the investors and build trust over time, because we all know that it's a bit late when you, as a startup or a scale-up, turn up to an investor maybe a week or a month before you run out of cash. So you should have talked to that investor a bit previously. And it's a good way to keep them up to date, share updates, share traction signals that we know investors like. And of course use the tool to invite people in your network, people that you meet here in the event or other events, and people on the platform. So we think that by consistently sending signals to the ecosystem, we see that those are the companies that actually succeed. We did a small analysis last month. We saw that there were over 100 companies actually raising funds at that time in the platform, amounted to over 1 billion NOK. So it's quite a lot of huge money when you kind of combine everything. So, but I think that's kind of what we see also, that the success comes from the companies that are consistent in the communication. And I think it was 1 or 2 years ago, we also did a big survey for investors. And we know that investors, we love information, but we also think, we saw that from the survey, that 80% of the investors, they found, they thought, or their idea was that they got too little information. So the companies need to be better at sending these right signals. And together with our partners, we support some fantastic communities around the world, and connecting thousands of founders with the capital they need across industries. But today, it's the health industry that we are targeting. So we are launching the Global Health Arena, which is basically a layer where all the community partners, the companies, the investors can meet. And we take the next step to a more connected startup ecosystem for health. And we have some great partners also with us that we are doing this with. Take the next So hopefully you will be able to join by clicking some of the QR codes we have here. I see my time is up, so but please talk to us. You can take the next slide and register for the platform. We are now taking in both companies, investors, and also finalizing our sponsors. Thank you.
Your time was up, but actually we still have some time. We are going ahead for the first time in our program. I have some questions for you. We saw that 70% of the investments in Norway is coming from investors outside of Norway. What's your target here? Like, do you have any goal that you set for yourself that how much is going to be increased from the outside of Norway investors with your initiative, because it's very important?
Yeah, and I think that's a very good question. We haven't set a target yet, but I think it kind of, we have connections both in the US, both in Europe and in Asia. So I think if we're able to kind of see cross-border investments, and that is quite a good amount, I think we would be very happy. But maybe that should be my next goal, to set a goal for this. That's a good question.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Our next guest is coming from Sweden. I am not able to say his surname properly, so please excuse me. Magnus Bourdain from DigitalWell Arena.
Hello everybody, I'm Magnus Bourdain, Managing Director of DigitalWell Arena. And imagine a healthcare system where meeting your personalized needs, delivering precision health services. Imagine a healthcare system really take advantage of entrepreneurs, corporates, the academia, other public sectors and investors, really to create a win-win market where we really can take together, able to solve the great challenges of health. Imagine a healthcare system where you can 50% of the total amount of money we really spend is preventive care. Today is 3% in Sweden. Imagine we have a healthcare systems really to take the advantage of the potential of individuals. So we really can put all the resources to them really needed it. To create that kind of healthcare system, we need system innovation. System innovation, no single actor can do it by itself. You have to collaborate in new different ways to change the system in a disruptive way. DigitalWell Arena is a system innovation environment, a system innovation arena. Putting these actors together and make it possible to make that system change, really. And we're working really, especially about the interaction between the public sector and startups and innovative companies. Because that interaction today is not really working. So what are we really looking into? We are looking into public procurement. But because how can we use public procurement to be an innovation driver for future health services? And we find ways to do that. We call it demand acceleration. So that's something we are doing. We also look into how to create a market of scaling. In Sweden, we have 21 regions, 290 municipalities, and they all decide their own way to buy things. So it's very hard to scale, really. So instead of thinking of all that 311 organizations, then maybe you can find a way to have a common way on a market with certification and validation of health services. So they all can feel trust in every municipality, in every region, to use that service. So that's something we work with, also together with Orca Health, for example, in the United Kingdom. We also work with health data, make health data available. We are now part of Health Data Sweden. We are 17 actors from all over Sweden, putting us together in a European Digital Innovation Hub, creating availability of health data for startups, for public sector in Sweden. So that's something we're working on. We're also working on helping entrepreneurs and scale-ups really to find, make it easier to find market and to work with the public sector when it comes to regulations, culture, and so on. We really make it easy to meet the public sector, so we find the interaction working better. And that's why we have an incubator, we have a HealthTech Incubator, and we have a HealthTech Accelerator for DigitalWell Ventures. You will listen to Stefan, and you will listen to Tatiana about that in a few minutes. Do you want to join the movement? Do you want to join that and to be a part of that system change? Please talk to me during the evening, or project manager Marie Gander, for example, and let us know how you can contribute to the system change, really. Because we have to work together. So we are that system innovation change lab in Sweden. And we work very closely with you in Norway. Because we want to interact with the companies, entrepreneurs, who has the best solutions for the future. Thank you.
Don't look so nervous. It's going to be a simple question, I promise you. We discussed this cooperation quite often between Norway and Sweden, the cross-border thing. And DigitalWell Arena obviously is a Swedish initiative right now. I know that you started a few initiatives with Interreg, with Inlandet and some environments there. How do you foresee the cooperation with Norway here to partake in DigitalWell Arena?
Well, we see Norway as a very important collaboration country, really. We are also have an office soon here in Oslo. We have an office in Arvika, we have an office in Karlstad and also in Stockholm, so we're really working on all the way, really, between Oslo and Stockholm. And I think that's a really important part of our future goals, really to be a part of the Norwegian healthcare system as well.
So any stakeholders within the system would be welcome to contact you to partake in this. All right. Thank you, Magnus. Magnus mentioned that an important part of DigitalWell Arena is also the startup part and the scale-up part. And today we have participants from both environments with us. We have Stefan Skoglund from DigitalWell Ventures Accelerator, which have the demo day here today with 8 startups. We also have the brand new HealthTech Incubator with Tatiana Eriksson. So please come on stage, both of you.
Yeah, we are.
Stefan, I heard somewhere so that in order for pitch to be successful, you need to do either of two things. Either to get a good joke or to have some really, really, really big numbers that speak to everyone. I was thinking, what do you want to hear? I have a feeling that's numbers, actually, you know, like Steina and Tom, like, I mean, like, such a great presentations, right, with all the things. So I came prepared.
What?
Oh, yes. I had some time. I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you about 3 numbers. Number 1. 800. Not just 800. It's actually 800 billion Swedish crowns that are in the public sector, procurement public sector, per year. And if you think it's a big number, well, it is a big number, right? But it's actually 1/5 of the Swedish gross domestic product. 1/5. Huge, right? Well, coming next. Number 10. This number, I mean 800 billion, is 10 times more than all the investments made in startups in Sweden during the whole year. So, I mean, startups, if you're looking for money, first of all, look for customers, because customers are the best investors. But then look here, I mean, like, 10 times more, you have 10 times more chances of getting money. Perhaps. Number 2. What is this thing? What is this number stands for? It's actually an average number of participants in a public tender. 2 companies. So here we are we are in the DigitalWell Incubator. We are working as a bridge between startups and public sector. And between actually DigitalWell Ventures, us, we don't just have the first name similar, but also the second part, that actually we work with health tech companies within digital health and well-being. So if you have, or if you're working within this industry and you have sustainability in your core, come to us, come talk to us. And last but not least, if you're an investor, I mean, look in that. I mean, like this is like a huge risk minimizing, right? Like if you have all the customers on the internet, it's easily accessible, all the contacts, just make a call. So this is inspiration for you. And Stefan, now it's your turn.
Oh, thank you. Well, amazing. And one of the reasons why we're doing this, working with both an incubator and accelerator, is of course that there are the challenges in these fields. It's not just to start and get going. You have to have some things in order to be able to be successful in the health tech and welfare tech sector. And that's where the incubator actually does a lot of work in solving these things in an early stage before you actually go into scale. And what we as an accelerator do is actually then to look at the financing part of the company. What do we need actually to make this possible? And in forms of funding and investment and so on. And work very closely together with the companies and the investors to actually do this possible. So our biggest goal as an accelerator is to have more startups within this sector to be successful, to raise the level of startups succeeding in the sector.
Right.
And the second part is that we want more money going into this because it's so important for all of us, for our future well-being, of course, to be able to have a fantastic future.
Right.
So this is a really huge societal challenge that we have to solve this population that grows older and people, all those things you know about. So that's what we're actually trying to solve. And it's so fun actually to be able to see you all here and be part of this Swedish-Norwegian cooperation. I live in Sweden. It's just 2 hours away from Oslo. So it's so easy to just go here by car or take the train for 1 hour and 50 minutes and just have meetings working all day in Oslo and go back to my family at night. So it's amazing. So we have to do this a lot more. And that's what we really want to do. So actually in the region of Värmland, where we have our offices, we actually see us as a part of the greater Oslo region in this regard. Yeah, so that's what we see actually. So we want to compete together in this region with Stockholm and Berlin and Silicon Valley or Israel and whatever. Yes. Yeah, we think that we can create a really,
ripple effect.
A ripple effect
like
and be one of the best places in the world for doing this kinds of stuff that we do within the health tech sector. So that's why we are a virtual accelerator for digital health and welfare tech companies. And I'm so happy and so proud to be able today that you will see, you will see actually live in front of you the results of working very closely together with these companies for 12 weeks. You will see the results, and together with you as investors here, we really can make a difference in this field, and also probably make a lot of money. Do you like money?
Oh yes, who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Yeah, so it's a part of it as well, of course. So.
I wasn't ready for this question.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, and see you later here.
Say one thing before you start. Stefan actually brought this clock with him. He's the only one that went over. So well done, Stefan.
Sorry.
One question. Now that we are listening to Accelerator, Incubator, if I had a startup, I might start wondering like which one I'm supposed to apply to. Which one is fitting for me? How can I know that?
Yeah, excellent question. It's about where you are in the phase of your company. So if you're quite early in the phase, you're still researching the needs. You need to talk with the public sector, have contacts within the field and find out what regulations you need to figure out before getting going, then the incubator is the best choice. But if you've passed most of these things, the accelerator is the thing to apply to.
Any capacity issues in either of them? Like how many startups are you expecting to have?
Well, we work closely with 10 to 20 companies each spring and each autumn. So it's possible to apply right now for the spring edition.
Okay.
And we will have a new demo day in May, maybe next year, and see what has happened then. So you're all invited to that event, of course, as well.
That's great news. Okay.
Thank you, Stefan.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes our first hour. It's not even an hour. I think it's some kind of a record, actually.
This time we managed to keep it in 45 minutes.
Which means you got 15 minutes more, Stefan, for your event.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to hand it over with warm hats
Yes,
to the
exactly.
next crowd.
Now it's going to be even more fun because we're going to have 8 startups to listen to. So, and they have a little bit more extra time also. So you can actually ask questions maybe if you're interested.
All right. We can ask Stefan Skoglund and Aline to come back on stage and run the show. It's all yours.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. And hello, Aline. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. Great to be here in beautiful Oslo with you all.
So tell us, where are you from?
I'm from very far away, from Brazil.
Yeah.
But
Where do you work?
where I'm working at DigitalWell Ventures,
Yeah.
but from Helsinki, because we now started our internationalization process going from Sweden to Norway and now Finland and Baltics.
Perfect. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. And the opportunity here is that this becomes a much larger market for the startups, of course, to be able to get into all these countries. And that's our long-term goal, to actually help with that and facilitating that. So, what do you say? Should we get started with the startups?
Yes.
Yes, of
I think
course.
we are all very excited to hear about all these innovations that our companies have been creating.
Yeah, we are. So each startup will have 5 minutes, and we will have take maybe 1 or 2 questions from the audience or from us. It depends on what happens. And you will all be able to meet and talk to the startups in the area here afterwards, where they will be able to talk to you directly and answer your individual questions, of course. All right. So first company is up. It's a company from Sweden called HealthTech. So Martin, there you are. Okay, give a big applause to Martin from HealthTech. Woohoo!
Thanks a lot. Well, when my grandma was 91 years old, she had a stroke, and she had to take care of the rehabilitation on her own, with some help from a paper and some drawings. And I can tell you, this wasn't done, because it's not motivating. And if we can't motivate people, we will put pressure on healthcare, and the healthcare don't have staff anymore, as we already heard about. We know, for example, there's a lack of physiotherapists in 11 out of 21 regions in Sweden, and in 59 municipalities. And this is only the beginning, because within 10 years, there will be 50% more 80-plus people who also need care. And who will help them? There's a big crisis ahead, for sure. But we know the healthcare providers work hard to find solutions to provide good care in people's home. And that is exactly what Habby does. Habby is a digital solution for physical... Does the film start? Yeah. Habby is a digital solution for physical rehabilitation, habilitation, and preventive training. And the unique thing with Habby is that you see yourself on the screen together with a digital instructor. That makes sure that you know how to do the exercise, and it's also much more motivating. Habby also reminds you when it's time for training. And Habby is developed for elderly people, meaning that it works for all other groups as well. And Happy is developed based on real needs. We had a group from a municipality for 2 years helping us out. It was a physiotherapist, an occupational therapist, nurses, and also patients. And we had also a group of experts in psychological behavior, helping us to make Happy useful for all groups. When the patient has done the training, a message goes to the physiotherapist, who easily can change program from distance and therefore help more people. And that's exactly what they need. Because people are getting older, not just in Sweden and Norway, it's globally. And that's a good thing, of course. But it puts pressure on healthcare and costs a lot of money. We know they can save 180 billion krona in Swedish healthcare if they use digital solutions. And this is just in Sweden. It's not a Swedish problem, Norwegian problem, it's global. And Happy is scalable for global markets. As the provider told us, everyone will need Happy within a few years, just not everybody knows this yet. I believe it's true. And what about customer groups? Well, we have the first customer in place already, and that's great. And that's the municipality of Karlstad. Meaning, we have passed all the hard tests and are now scalable for new markets. And we are already doing tests in municipalities and regions. Beside that, we have private healthcare and insurance business as a big group. Insurance companies have asked us if they can use Happy to make sure that people are doing rehabilitation in order to get back to work. So we think this is a very interesting group. And as a global market, that's good. And the unique thing with Happy is that it's very easy to use. The oldest patient was 94 years, and he managed to train and leave a message on the first attempt. And it's also a motivating user experience, and this together that you see yourself on the screen and you get a reminder makes us unique and very useful today. It's a subscription-based SaaS, the business model. You can either have staff licenses, for example, a physiotherapist, or you can have device licenses, for example, nursing home. And this is the big income monthly. On top of that, we have set up fees for integration and training. And the team, well, we're quite a routinated team. We have known each other for many, many years, and we've been partners for 10. We have already done a couple of exits, and we have been leaders and had big roles in many companies already. So we are trying to do the best we can with Happy, and would love you to join us. We are self-funded to this date. We have already put in 10,000 hours. That means we're scalable. And today we are seeking 3 million Swedish krona in order to scale sales and marketing. And if we have reached other budget goals within 5 years, we find an international buyer, and the budget goals are quite reasonable, then the valuation should be at least 250 million Swedish krona. So if you believe in Happy, and we heard that the healthcare providers needs help, people are getting older. And we already have some people who loves us, like wonderful Lisa. She's using Happy today. So please get in touch, and we can talk about numbers and opportunities. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Martin. So, do we have a question? Quick question from the audience? No, not yet. So, I have a question then, of course. So, why will you be successful? Why you in this field?
Why me? Why Happy, you mean?
The team.
Yeah, the team, yeah. Well, I would say the easy answer is because healthcare industry doesn't have a choice. They need solutions like digital help. Example, Happy. And Happy is also scalable for international markets. You can see at the screen, so you know how to train, and it's very easy to do in other languages as well. So that's the easy answer.
Amazing. Yeah. And lastly, the users, how have they experienced this service? Do you have any examples?
Yeah, I have many examples. It's been great so far. Of course, I'm saying that. I'm standing here. But for sure, it's been great. Like Lisa, she didn't move at all a couple of years ago, and she had a heart attack. And then she got Happy, and Happy reminds her 2 times a day. So she gets up and do the training. And nowadays she even go to the local cafe and have coffee with her friends. So it's a new life for her. And we also had a municipality, Arvika, your municipality. They use Habby for educating all the people who comes to a patient. So they do the exercises the same way and the right way every time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we all can imagine if we have this paper trainings that we need to do on paper, that we know that this would be a much better solution. At least I will wish that when I went too fast in the skiing bucket last year and I had to go to the physiotherapist. Yeah.
You're welcome to have it.
Yeah, I would rather use Habby. Yeah. Thank you very much, Martin. Big applause.
Thanks,
for Martin.
Great. Thanks.
It's time for us to bring on stage the second startup of the day. Let's keep going and keep moving. So welcome on stage Felicia Provende from HealthGoing.
Hi, my name is Felicia and I'm the founder of HealthGoing, an online platform that connects people who want to get and give high quality health services online. Did you know that 83% of all internet users are searching for health information online? Did you also know that anyone can legally today call themselves a training or nutrition expert without major consequences, except for the individuals that buy the services, of course? The online personal training market is exploding, with an expected estimation of almost $60 billion by 2027. The pandemic increased that amount by 300%. So why are 9 out of 10 personal trainers leaving the industry during their first year? It's because it's so hard to stand out in the crowd, get the right tools for an effective workflow, and expand the customer base. It is common to use up to 8 different systems and apps for the workflow. The current alternatives for all-in-one services are expensive, are not really all-in-one solutions, or let whoever in that has customers without doing any background check. Since less than 40% of personal trainers are estimated to have a valid standard and educations, this is a lot more competitors to the good guys than it should be. It is even worse if we are looking at health coaches, where only 10% are estimated to meet the requirements. How would you feel if 90% of your competitors was low quality and nobody recognized the difference? Or if you are in need of health advice, are you confident enough to know who is actually a valid advisor? HealthGoing approaches these problems in 3 ways. What's important is to raise the standard and make quality the easy choice. First, we quality review and certify health advisors, so we can guide customers to valid advisors and make the good guys stand out. 2, we offer a flexible system for health coaching online with a flexible price plan, perfect for starting and for scaling. The third one is that we offer direct booking or a matching service, so people with health needs can meet advisors with the right knowledge. They can get multiple options of advisors, their offers, and choose the one of their choice. Our primary target group and customers are freelancing personal trainers and nutrition consultants. We're also marketing our solutions to their customers, which are individuals and companies in need of health services. Our revenue sources are commission on bookings, customer leads, and when advisors buy upgrades in our platform. Here is how one of Sweden's biggest personal training school, the Academy, describes us as some competitors for health coaching online. As you see, they think none of us has it all. But what is cool is that HealthGoing made it to this list with our beta version, together with big companies as Zoom and Tweak. Here's how we would describe our market positioning. We're on the top of quality reviewed health advisors and flexible price. As you see, our biggest and unique strength is quality reviewed advisors. A strength that is hard for others to compete against, since it requires knowledge, experience and skills. It's not just a tech thing or functionality that anyone can build. You need to do this right from the beginning. Here's the core team of HealthGoing. I'm Felicia, and I have my own experience in the market as a personal trainer and nutrition consultant. Together with developer Fredrik and marketer Isabella, we are a skill trio in health tech and marketing. We have launched our web application, onboarded our first users, and sold wellness services to company customers. Now we want to recruit a salesperson and expand our sales division. We also want to develop an iOS and Android app in the future. We estimate to have a positive cash flow after 21 months. We're going to work hard with inbound and outbound sales. We're aiming to collaborate with personal training schools and nutrition university programs, which we think will help us be familiar in those circles and give us an advantage in the sales process. We estimate to reach an investor exit in 5 years, and at that point have an annual revenue of 30 million. Join us on our journey. Our pre-money valuation is 60 million Swedish krona. After 5 years, we believe that will be 250 million Swedish krona. For our next round, we're looking for 3 million approximately. So please, if you are interested, contact me and see what this can lead to. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you for the great pitch, Felicia. Do we have any questions at the audience for Felicia? No? Okay, then I have a question for you. Quality is at the core of your value proposition.
Yeah.
And what are you really, how do you quality control? How is the quality process and what are you quality reviewing? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
We quality review everything that you as a consumer are in contact with while getting a health coach online. So we quality review the person, the business, and the technology. So for the person, we want them to have a valid education and also know their own limit of knowledge. So they can say no when it's above their knowledge limit. For the business, we look so it's legal, of course, and only selling services that they actually have knowledge about. No fishy products or multi-level marketing. For the technology, if they have their own apps, for example, we look so that it's safe and easy to use for the client. Yeah.
And how has been the feedback so far with your beta?
It has been great, actually. We have talked to personal... What's that? We have also talked to personal trainers, educators last week, and they said that this is really needed, and that the students are gonna love this solution where they can get this technology and support and actually raise the standard in the health industry.
Really great. So thank you. Come and talk to Felicia after. Thank you, Felicia, for.
Thank you.
And keep going.
Great, thank you. And now we're going to Sweden again, and actually all the way to Stockholm. And it's so cool to have Mikael here from the company Advantocare. And he's going to solve a really big challenge for all of us. So we're really looking forward to it. Well, okay. Is it, well, you can use mine. Others, yeah. Okay, take it.
Joke is question: how to get a small fortune? Yes, invest to startups.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Now we have Mikael on the way here. So, yeah. All the way. Welcome.
Thanks so much. My name is Mikael Karlsson, as you can see, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Advantocare. Today, technology is not... Yes, so today we're going to talk about how data is going to revolutionize the elderly care. But before we do that, we have to talk about the global challenge that we are facing and the huge demographic shift that and technology problems that we apparently are having. Sorry, now it will jump. Go back. So the number of people over 60 is going to grow rapidly over the coming years. And a historic event happened in 2020 is that actually the number of people over 60 years outnumber the people, the kids under 5 years. This is quite amazing. And as we have already been talking about, between the years 2015 and 2050, the number is almost going to double. So we know that this is going to create huge problems for municipalities. And first of all, there's not going to be enough people to take care of our elderly. It's going to be less tax money, something that people forget all the time. It's not only about the staff. We're not going to have the money to actually pay for the elderly care that we need. And today, another problem that is occurring is that we have a lot of legacy systems, meaning that it's not even possible to be innovative for the municipalities. And least, the way of working is outdated. We need to find new ways to face this challenge. Okay, you're pressing now. Okay, sorry. Okay, so follow us on the journey from reactive to predictive. Today, everything that we do within the elderly care or health care is reactive. Something happens, we get care, we get rehabilitation or habilitation, and we want to go from reactive to proactive to predictive. So, meaning that we can start to give proactive interventions much earlier, and in the future, we then can start to see what's going to happen in 6 to 12 months. And the question is then, how are we going to be able to do this? So, we at Avantocare, next slide, we aggregate data from welfare products and systems that the municipalities already have today. We upload this information into our integrations platform, and then we centralize, visualize, and analyze this data, making it possible for people that work within these organizations to plan their care interventions better, to understand what's going to happen in the future, but also just to get an overview, because what you need to realize that all these systems and all these products are in verticals today. So we're talking about 30 to 40 different verticals of information. There's no chance for an overview. Next slide. So what are the qualities? What are the advantages of this? Well, first of all, when you start to measure data in this way, you can follow the effect of your care interventions. Secondly, you can start to follow groups or individuals in a new way, based on data. Proactive care is enabled by this. And last but not least, we're talking about product that could generate money fast. A lot of work that is being done today within these organizations, being done manually. And by centralizing data, we can automatically automate, for example, quality reports and digital reports. Today we have three customers. It's Helsingborg, Krokom, and Ekerö. And we have a fantastic pipeline. So we have about 5 other municipalities that are on their way in as well. Moving on. So we are planning for a scale, and we are doing this in a good way with the team, because we believe that scalability is going to be something that's very important for the future. So not only the possibility of onboarding municipalities, which is a challenge, it's also about the technical one. But as you can see, we have an aggressive journey ahead of us, and we really believe that we can reach these targets in 2024. The team, my fantastic team. This is really a great mix of people that has experience within elderly care, working for municipalities and organizations, but also looking at our board and advisory board, we have a lot of knowledge within this sector. We are raising 545,000 euro. On the table right now is 330,000. So, and the evaluation right now is 2.5 million euros. The spending split, we're going to spend this on marketing shows, ramping up the personnel to be able to do the scale that we just talked about, but also develop the product further. Thank you. That's the pitch you want.
Yeah,
that's the pitch you want.
Technology.
Yeah, technology loves me, apparently. Yeah.
Anyway, any question for Mikael here? Yes?
What kind of data? Well,
say the questions for the...
okay, sorry. Yeah. So what kind of data can we aggregate or can we collect? Well, it could be basically anything from the welfare products. It could be, what do you call it, a robot that gives out medicine, for example, or it could be a security alarm. It could be data from opening a door, sensors, censoring if you're in bed, out of bed, radar sensors that are, I mean, if you look at Sweden today, about 60 to 75% of the municipalities have already invested heavily in welfare products. So there's a lot of data out there, but it's just not being used. Yeah, exactly. So the problem today is that, of course, every product and every system is their own ecosystem. You know, they have their own version. So there's no horizontal way today, and that is what we are solving by our platform. Yes. Well, so how do we go from proactive to predictive, for example, and what do we mean when we talk about predictive? Well, I think it's I mean, proactive care intervention is something that exists today. It's nothing strange. But what we think about the predictive versions is not about 1 hour, 2 hours. We're talking much more in that we can see, for example, what's going to happen to this person based on the data knowledge that we know. And how we will do this is that we will create, first of all, risk profiles of this person. And by finding these different correlations through the risk, we will then be able to also start to understand how this will work forward. I'm not a data scientist, so I should not be answering this question in the best way. But Anders and Jens and the team over there, they were happy to answer that maybe in a deeper way.
Thank you. Amazing. And my last question to you, is just that many investors might find that it's hard to work with the public sector.
Yeah.
But there are, of course, a lot of advantages in regards to contracts and so on.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I think, I mean, it was already raised here today that there's a lot of money in the public sector. I mean, there's a lot of people being afraid of that. So I think that's a good question. And I think that you should really look into how you should sell your products, because the key is to find that the pricing. And for us, for example, we're using the rules of tenders, the rules of tenders in Sweden in a way that makes it possible for a municipality to buy direct, and that is a huge advantage. So, and this is no like secret. This we can share if you want, but this is a great way of selling. So.
And how long are these contracts for with the municipalities?
Yeah, but that's also a great thing. I mean, you're talking about 3 to 5 years. The churn rate is basically none. And they're good payers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, Mikael.
Thank you.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
Okay, Michael, you took the some technicalities. Okay, let's move into the next startup. Whoop. Yes, it's not moving. Yes, which is transforming care. So welcome on stage, Crystal from Yoda Care.
Thank you. All right. This one. All right. Hello. I am Kristel from Yoda Care, and I'm here. Oh, All right, this is it. I'm here to tell you about how we are. Again, this is not a good room for me. I'm here today to tell you how we are scaling access to medical care using technology. So if you're a paramedic and you're working on the side of the road with a patient, or maybe in their home, you could be 2 hours or more away from the nearest hospital. And that might not even be the right hospital for that patient. Or you can work in home care with elderly people, and they cannot handle the transportation to the hospital. Then it would be so much better if you could bring the specialist knowledge and competence and use your capable hands. With YODAPRO technology, specialists at the hospital can give decision support to the medical care, so they can give the right care to the patient and the right way of transportation. Maybe we need the air ambulance, or maybe we can leave the patient at home so they can go to see their own doctor tomorrow. In Innlandet, the ambulances travel 4 million kilometers every year. And they set up a new ambulance every month because of wear and tear. If the paramedics could get decision support from the right specialist at the hospital, maybe we could leave behind 10% of the patients. That will leave the hospital to need 1 ambulance less every year at the cost of 2 million NOK. And every time the air ambulance does not have to lift, they save another 50,000 NOK and can still be prepared for the next big accident. Oh. You heard pictures before. You know about the enormous gap between the enormous gap there is already today between the elderly care, the need for elderly care, and the lack of health professionals. We're here today to reduce the cost of health by bringing competence out to the paramedics and the nurses. Currently, our team is made up of medical, commercial, and technical experts, and we have also a great board of directors. What makes us unique is how we have secured how you fast and safely connect the exact right people to solve a problem in a critical situation. It is crucial in the communication about the patient, and it's a difficult task when you're alone with the patient and you have to use a voice-enabled camera. So after 4 years of co-developing together with our customers, we are the only one on the market with deep knowledge in how a modern solution must work and be compliant in work in critical healthcare situations. Therefore, we developed easy-to-use software for standard smart glasses, which allows paramedics and home care nurses to interface directly with doctors and specialists at the hospital and bring that specialist to the patient wherever they are. So this is what it looks like. It's you wear it on your head, and there's a camera on the side here, and you can change that into a thermal camera if you want. There's a small screen here, which actually is the size of an iPad, where it's your personal call list, and it's voice enabled, so your hands are free and clean. We have been on a journey where we built this product together with our users, both doctors, innovators, paramedics, patients, and nurses, and we are in the marketplace. We service today 8% of the ambulances and 10% of Norwegian municipalities. And we've done that through strategic technical partnerships with Cisco and Telenor. And we also have a channel sales partnership with Atea, which is doing most of the heavy lifting with sales. We make money, and we do, and we do that through a SaaS solution and bundling our software with a smart glass of choice. All right, can I stop? No. The addressable market for this is enormous. We now only got the tip of the iceberg. In the Nordic countries, there are 2,500 ambulances and 1,200 municipalities. And our ambition is to be the provider for all these municipalities and have them all on board. We expect in 2023 to grow from 8% of the ambulance to 20%, and from 10% of the municipality to 25% in Norway. We come here today ready and prepared to scale up across the Nordics. Our product is built and our partners are in place. We just need funding now to turn the engine on for this incredible opportunity. So we're asking for 10 million NOK in new capital. So if you are an investor wanting to join us on our mission for transforming care, I would love to talk to you. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Crystal.
Oh,
yes. Well, what an amazing technology, and it's really cool that you have been already testing it with real patients. Can you tell since when you have been doing that, these tests or these sales actually, and how have been the feedback?
Yes, we have been testing for 4 years, but we went for real in March of this year. Before that, we had 8 ambulances and 6 municipalities. So now we have 30. We have like 8% of the market, so between 30 and 35 ambulances and 36 municipalities, and they all come through Atea sales because they have this agreement with Norsk Helsenett, which my company just sits under, and they are really loving our product.
It's really great to hear. Do we have any question from the audience? Yes?
Oh yes, and this Tuesday, together with Cisco and Telenor, we had a test or a demo for the army using this in a 5G slice for secure network on tactical stuff in the army. So, and that was our technology used, not only the glasses, but yeah. And we had meetings with Equinor and several shipping companies. So yes. Other verticals.
Oh, verticals. Any other question for Yoda Care? No?
I think I need to change the name.
Come and talk during the mingle. Thank you, Crystal. And then we can bring.
All right. Just a quick question before we start. How many of you here have some kind of allergy or some kind of food preference in some way? And who is not telling the truth here? Because we know the numbers are a lot higher. And here, you might have this question in your head sometimes. Can I eat this? You know, is it possible? Well, now we have the solution. Team Can Eat here. Elisabeth and Cecilia, welcome on stage.
Oops. My name is Cecilia, and I'm one of the co-founders of Can Eat. And we want you to know your food. Because we know that 50% of the population have some kind of food-related restriction. And some of us just want to avoid certain ingredients. Still, we'll have to interpret the small print to figure out whether a product is okay for us or not. I have first-hand experience in this. When I got the diagnosis of a diet-related illness, I had to navigate a new and complicated diet and the food labels. In the beginning, it was really difficult, and I struggled a lot. But in the end, I became an expert. Oops. And I wrote 4 diet-related books published all over the world. And I also give talks at Norwegian hospitals.
And I am Elizabeth, Cecilia's co-founder, and I'm the UX designer of the team. I'm also an expert in sustainability and impact measurement. Me and Cecilia, we have worked together on a lot of projects over a decade. And when the idea of KEYNOTE came up, we just knew we had to do this together. So, let me tell you a little bit about our app. You can share, you can make filters on the things you want or the ingredients you don't want to eat. Super easy, yeah? And when you're shopping, click. And when you're shopping, you just scan the barcode and you know instantly against our database consisting of almost 100,000 products if you can eat it or not. So just pick up the product, scan, and you know immediately. You can share your filters with friends and family to make it easier to cater for groups of people. For instance, at birthday parties or lunches or whatever. And this will also create a network effect, spreading the app faster. KEYNOTE can be used for a lot of different, any kind actually of food preferences, whether you have an allergy, are diabetic, or maybe you're a vegetarian. We started with the celiacs. And yeah, all of these, this fragmented market makes us able to enter it segment by segment. And all of these segments, they have their own networks and their own communities that allows us to do direct marketing for network effects. Which brings us over to
the fact that the app is free to use.
Yeah, and also a money machine.
It's all about getting lots of users and to collect valuable data on consumer behavior. These data have tremendous value to both food producers, shops, and the healthcare sector. Together with our technology, there is no limitation of the information we can filter in the app. This makes the perfect ecosystem for sustainable health and food system, and therefore a very sustainable business model. Click. This is our team. It's strong, international, and diverse, with medical personnel, developers, and professors in AI and machine learning. Our partners include medical institutions, the Norwegian Foundation for Celiac, and Innovation Norway. You might wonder where we are today and where we are headed. The app is already launched in the App Store and Google Play. And even though we have had a very small, super soft launch, it is being downloaded by hundreds each week as we speak. Oops. Our next steps looks like this. We are making a full database of ingredients, actually the first of its kind in the world. We will onboard our B2B partners and healthcare providers, and we aim to go international in the middle of 2024, with Sweden and Finland as our first markets. KEYNOTE, we are actually a COVID-19 pivot, meant for the catering industry. This means that we have modules for restaurants and hotels ready for implementation whenever we see it fit. Right now, we are closing a small round of 600,000 Norwegian kroner to match the funding from Innovation Norway. In spring next year, we invite you to take part in a round of 5 million Norwegian kroners.
Yeah, that's for the spring, right? But if you have like maybe 100,000 kroners burning in your pocket right now, just let us know. Maybe we can find room for you in this smaller round.
This is not a trend. This is the future of food system. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're such an amazing team. You know? Yeah. So yes, we have a question here.
No,
What
we
is
don't
the
have any
competition?
competitors. No, we do have, of course. We have in Norway. We have some competition, but they are all kind of illness related, either to low FODMAP diet or to diabetes, or but what makes us different is that we are not kind of related to any illness. It can be used by everybody. But in the US, there are a company actually doing a little bit the same as us. And in the beginning, it was a little bit scary because, wow, somebody's doing the same. But then we can see that, but there is a huge market for this. So we don't actually care as long as we see that there are... Because if we were the only ones,
What's the market for
yeah.
that?
Great question. And here?
Yeah.
Your main way to recognize the product, like, and the ingredients?
Yeah.
You don't use any like optical components?
No.
How do you plan to scale it? 'Cause I remember like a few years ago during a hackathon, we just for fun on the weekend created something similar for beauty products, but like we dropped the barcode for the reason because a lot of products actually like it's not always working properly. So how did you solve it in food?
Actually,
I just repeat the question for the online audience.
Okay,
Yeah,
it was
in short.
how we can use only the barcode and how we can scale it. Actually, I think because we thought about maybe we should go for kind of optical things, and I know that there has been companies getting lots of money for that, but it's useless because you need, when you have an allergy, you have to know the right things in the ingredients. You can't just scan it for the food and see, maybe it's not, because it's not on the plate, this corner or something. So actually the safest thing is to do it with the barcodes, and also the easiest, because all the companies, all the food producers, they have barcodes on and the information in the barcode. Yeah,
we have like the API we get is very secure.
Yeah.
But what's the coverage? I mean, if you like shop in a regular supermarket and try to scan the barcode, what's the percentage recognized versus unrecognized? Because in beauty, it's huge amount was not recognized.
No.
So you
No.
think it should work, it's logical, but in practice it didn't. So
Yeah, at the moment we have 80%, but we are working very hard with the smaller producers, and they really love our product. Really, they are kind of, we want to go with you, we want to be with you and do this because it is so important for our customers. So that's been great.
Amazing.
So come and speak to us after.
So last question.
Yeah.
Do you love doing this?
Yeah. No. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we can see that. So really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Go and talk to Kenny afterwards.
Okay. Let's see what is coming next. Next, let's talk about mental health and better stress management with Maria from Eduki.
Okay. Hello. Before you start the clock, I want to ask for just 1 minute where we just close our eyes and take a deep breath. We'll be going non-stop for a while now. So just lower your shoulders and just a little bit of silence. It's been a lot of talking. Okay, thank you. Now you can start the clock. And I'll start talking again. So wouldn't this be great to just have something that reminds us to just stop and pause and take a break whenever we need it? We can see that stress is a huge problem, and sick leave due to stress in our workplaces is shooting through the roof. We just don't have enough of preventative health solutions. Like we heard before earlier today, 3% in Sweden of the resources goes towards preventative work. And it's really a problem that is growing. It's costly for the companies and of course for the individuals. And at the same time, we have research that shows that stress reductive tools like meditation, even doing just a little short thing like we just did now, really brings down our stress. It makes us sleep better, and it also makes us focus better. So the need for a solution is huge. Our platform combines stress reductive methods together with micro habits and AI. And the micro habits is a proven method that is the most simple way to actually start implementing a new habit. And together with the AI, it adopts the content, so it's really easy to follow the instructions you're getting. Our solution is scalable, digital, easy to use, and the company will be receiving data to find out how the people are actually doing in the company, how their mental health, and it will be updated day to day. All of this creates a preventative, sustainable stress reduction that changes the culture in the company. You start talking about stress. Science shows that digital solutions for meditation at work decreases the stress level by 32% in only 30 days. It also increases the focus with 22% with only one session. It's a very powerful tool. And companies that work with meditation, digital meditation for people, is growing rapidly. We have competitors, of course, many of them. And one of them is Headspace, that you might have heard of, where they started 2010, and they are today at a value of $3 billion. They have Calm right behind them. They started 2 years later, and they are $2 billion. So it's a really profitable market, and it just shows that the demand is huge. People really need tools to be able to calm down. And we, of course, find ourselves unique in the sense that we direct this tool. We have the same base in meditation, but we direct this tool straight towards companies. So we're right now testing our product towards the companies. We're getting the evaluation back from there, and we're changing the content just to fit the workplaces. And we also have the micro habits, and we have the AI, and we're also doing it in the original language instead of English. There, thank you. So very short about the e-health market is growing madly, 430 billion year 2028. And we are selling to private sector and also public sector. And we're looking at a revenue or a cash flow positive year 2026. And this is only from taking 0.7 of the Swedish market. And as you know, it's a global problem. Our business model is a SaaS model right now, 200 crowns per user. And we see that once we have enough data around what this does to the companies, how much money they save by implementing this, then we'll have a value-based model. And the possibilities of this, as you know, is endless. There. We started 3 years ago, me and my colleague Maria, and we started B2C. And we got pretty fast, about 500 users, and we made about 1 million crowns. And we were testing digital products towards private people. We turned this year towards B2B, and right now we are building our team, and we're taking in an investment. We're looking for an investment of 2 million crowns, and we have 600,000 of that covered already. We're putting our pilot 2023 out with the clients and testing it, and the feedback we're getting, we're alternating the content. And we're also starting the first step to because right now we work on a third-party solution, but we're going to have our own platform, and we're also going to use to develop the market and the sale. We have an amazing team. My God, I gotta be fast. Okay, an amazing team. They're all very senior, extremely good within their fields and within ET and immaterial properties and sales and all you need. We feel like we're really, really ready for this launch to move ahead and to bring sustainable tools into our workplaces. Yay. Yes. So,
you mentioned you use AI. Can you elaborate a little bit? What kind of models do you use, and what for? And is it in-house algorithm, or do you use any open source integrated?
Yeah, we're starting with open source, and it's basically to make it as simple as possible, where you have like a friend in your pocket that gets to know you. So this is it. It's like learning how you behave, what you do, so you can actually get it adjusted to who you are. That's the short answer.
And this is a very trendy topic, mental health. I'm curious about competition. How is the competition? Do you have other similar solutions here in the Nordics?
Well, in the Nordics, we just with this solution that we have with AI and micro habits and the meditation as a base, we haven't seen anyone that does the same thing. We do see that there's a huge demand. Everybody we've been talking to get letter of intents are really ready to get started. They say, why haven't we got this already? Yeah.
Yes, and what is next for Eduki?
What is next? Like I said, we're taking in the investors right now, and we're like the 2% or the 1% of the women who wants capital. So we're taking in the investments so we can keep working, and we already have clients that wants to start using our product. So it's like just that we're going to launch it next year and start getting all the information that we need to make it the best app and really to change the life for many, because it's important.
It's all about creating impact.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maria, for the great pitch.
Thank
Come
you.
and talk with Eduki. And now?
Yes, and now it's time to go back to Norway and our next startup. And how many of you thought about where to go if there would be a fire here? Well, usually not so many. So something to think about. So let's start and hear what Tahani from Fire Mesh has to offer us all in this field. Thank you.
Okay. I'm Tahani, CEO and founder of Fire Mesh. Funker ikke nå? Nei. Okay. In 2020, I was working in this building. The fire protection system had not been controlled properly. This led to a terrible explosion. It exploded because it was unchecked and unsafe. 3 people was injured, and 1 of them was critically. And it was a miracle that nobody died. Ever since then, that day, I passioned to automate and digitalize testing process. We know the fact that 75% of the sprinkler system in Norway have never been tested, and 3 to 6% of the controlled facility have sprinkler systems that would not function properly in case of fire. If the sprinkler system is not checked, that's a big chance that will not work as it should. Error can lead to fire cannot be extinguished, or water damage and major water damage. So we know that 24% of the water damage in buildings are caused by sprinklers. Today, the janitor visits every building each weekly, to perform inspection for the sprinklers, and they doing it. It's required by the law. This is time-consuming, expensive, and unreliable. But we are changing the game. Our solution is automatic inspection digitally by IoT and sensors. We know that we are the company that make hardware and software and enable you always to know the status of your building. With Fire Mesh, you can instantly check the status of any building. You work smarter, and you visit buildings that require repairs. We have a team of experts with a strong background in the fire safety and tech. And our board member are mixed of entrepreneur with experience in the SaaS and fire protection. We know we are not alone. We are working in close collaboration with great customers and partners. Yes. In relation to the business opportunity and the market potential, we are tapping in a big market, 400 million euros. And we're starting from the Nordic and expanding to Europe and then the US. In relation to the competitors, there are two types of company: those who doing manually and those who doing digitally, but they don't own their technology. We have an advantage because we own the complete tech stack, which enable us to optimize our service to better and faster. Yes, and the business model is SaaS model. We charge an installation fee and the annual fee for our software service. The price, actually, the price model is validated with our paying customers. The annual fee for a typical one building will be 644 euros. So, yeah. Thank you. Since our foundation, we have experienced a great development and attraction in a new evolving market. We have now 25 buildings, which is several paying customers. We have installed, and our goal actually to, and all the 25 companies have more than 1,000 buildings. They can expand the solution. That the goal of additional 500 in 2023 will be achievable. And we will go to market with a channel partner sales model. We are currently rising at 300,000 euros in pre-seed, and pre-money valuation is 2 million. We want to use the money just for market and sales. So there's a need for automation and optimization, and let's automate routine control with IoT and sensor and work together to safer society. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry, I'm so very nervous.
Oh, thank you, Tahani.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, this is a really welfare solution that could be so valuable for so many companies to save money so they can do better things with them instead. So, questions from the audience?
Yes, we can welcome on stage also.
Yeah. Yeah, the co-founder.
Co-founder and CTO aren't very good.
So, question for? No. So, quick question for me then. The response from you, because you have what investors love, real customers paying you real money. So, what does the customer say to you after you've installed this and start to use it?
It's actually they're very impressed, and they don't believe that is we can how it works very well and very good. But still they want to try 1 on 3, and they still have 300 buildings back, so we're going to take them all. We know it's, but the response is very, very good. What do you...
They say it's easy to use. They have a lot of systems that's complicated and they're afraid of, but when they try our solution, they say that this was very nice, and then they're very surprised how easy it is.
Great.
What is next for Fire Mesh?
Oh, okay. This is the room, and what is the product that you have? Yeah. This is the hardware that control the sprinkler system. But in this, every building like this one, there's a lot of manually testing they're doing in the valve and water metering, and 10 of them we know about that we want to expand and use the same control box to manage them.
Yeah.
So, do you have something to add?
No, there's a lot of equipment that needs to be checked. There are other equipment that needs weekly checks, and we could automate a lot of them. There's also different types of fire safety equipment that we can respond to, like dry sprinklers, and also for freeze places where it's cold. you have glycol, you have alcohol in the system, and that's also something that we could check and improve. Those systems are very hard to test, and many times they don't test it, and in fact when it burns it doesn't work, so a lot of the times it's the house burns down because it doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Amazing solution. So great work of you so far. So this is really interesting, and we're looking forward for you to expanding to Sweden as well.
Yes.
So
we
next
are
step.
too.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fireman.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now, for our grand finale, let's bring on stage Mood Social, Matar, talking about how we will connect people in Sweden and also abroad.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
And Andreas.
Yeah, Andreas. Yes! Vi får ta den här. Ja, du lämnar den här där borta. All right. Can everyone hear me? Perfect. Cool. Hey everyone. We are Mood Social, and we bring people and experiences together. We are a close team that has developed a product now that's going to battle loneliness. Because we all know that in today's society, that us humans are more connected than ever before in history. We can have up to thousands of friends on social media. But how many of these friends do we really spend time with in real life? Loneliness in today's society is huge. And if we look at only Sweden, the number is at a staggering 59%. But this trend also goes above Swedish borders to major parts of the world, to the point now that where both UK and Japan have elected a minister of loneliness. But the most frightening part is that it's young adults between the ages of 18 to 25 who are feeling more and more lonely. Loneliness is devastating to our health. And if we look at it, it can lead to isolation, depression, mental illness. But the worst part is also the stigma regarding it. It can be quite uncomfortable and difficult to identify yourself as lonely. But this happened before as well regarding online dating 10 years ago. I don't know if you all remember Match.com. It could be a bit embarrassing to be found there. But this changed radically when Tinder entered the market and made something fun out of it. And we intend to do the same regarding loneliness by flipping it on its head and focusing on fun and meaningful experiences and connecting people. So we are proud to present Mood Social, a social platform that connects people by creating, finding, and joining activities together. The platform gives you a clear overview of which activities and events to do in your city, which places you can visit, and also what your friends are planning on doing, wherever you are. All of our users have personal profiles, meaning that it's very easy to find and connect with your friends and like-minded people, but this is also important for a safety perspective, because then you know who you're going to meet before every activity or before every event. Communication is something that's very big, so users can also communicate with each other directly on the platform. And now I bet you're thinking, well, wait, Matar, doesn't this exist already? I mean, of course, there are companies who have similar solutions, but the problem there is that they don't really have the core of what we are building. I mean, if you look at it, social media today, they're too unfocused, too noisy, there's way too much going on. Social medias are not really social. I mean, think about it. Will cat videos really solve the loneliness problem? Not really. But this is where we come in, because we actually focus on what's important, and that's meaningful social meetings. And we achieve this by focusing on friendship and experiences, availability, and interest-based matching. Because if you look at the event industry, it is huge. Right before the pandemic, it was valued at over $1,100 billion, and it's projected to grow by 99% by the year 2028. A huge opportunity for us to take on market shares. But the platform is also readily available for everyone to use. But we have identified a primary target group in the form of students. The main reason for this is because students are normally young people who have moved to a new town, new school, looking to make friends and find fun stuff to do. So we did a survey where we had an 89% approval rate. But to keep these on the platform as well, we need activities. And this is where the ambassadors come in. This is people who are passionate about creating events and can earn a quick buck. And we keep these on the platform through loyalty and gamification. That means the more activities that you do, the more points that you earn. The more points that you earn, the more you can use the free experiences. And I mean, let's be honest, students are not the most rich people on the planet, so this is extremely valuable to them. But last but not least, it's also companies in the culture and event section all around us. We have cinemas, we have bowling halls, we have sports centers. What we do here is that we connect our users to find someone to go with. So find someone to go watch a movie with, or find someone to go to have a walk with. I mean, let's look at the event market again. If we look at only Ticketmaster, right now they have an $11 billion turnover, which is a lot of freaking money. So how are we ever going to compete against them? We won't, because if you can't beat them, why not work together? So we will not compete, but we will collaborate with them with our platform by making it easier for our users to find fun stuff that they're having, and that leads to how we're going to make some money. So we take a 2% commission fee of every transaction that goes through Mood. And this can be ticket costs, it can be bookings, and it can be admission fees. And we achieve this through a unique solution where our users can buy stuff together, find people to go with, and buy tickets together. Because for us, profitability is a big one. So with our expected business plan that we have right now, we reach break-even at the year 2026. So today, we are seeking 2.5 million in seed funding, because our goal is in a few years to be a key partner in the event market with over 8 million active users, 260 million Swedish kroners, not dollars, so that we don't get ahead of ourselves, and 76 million in profit. So join us today in battling loneliness and connecting people. Join us today to make our social lives and our everyday lives a little bit more fun and a little bit more social. Thanks, everyone. Hello, hello. Thank you.
For the great pitch and very interesting solution. Let's connect people.
Yes, thank you.
This is a very trendy topic, and there is a couple of competitors, as you showed to us. How does you differentiate from niche platforms like Fishbrain, for instance?
Yeah, that is actually a very good platform. I think Fishbrain is good for people that are passionate about fishing, but what if they're interested in golf? Or what if they're interested in football? Or if you just go out to have a coffee with a friend? It does not really fill that purpose. But that's from where we come in, and that's what Mood is about. It's about our mood. What do I feel like doing today? I mean, all of us are here for a business meeting today, right? Maybe tomorrow we want to go swimming. That's exactly why it's perfect for us, because we connect people based on their mood, not based on only interest only.
And I mean, just to add one thing, I mean, we can also be very flexible. So if we see data on people finding new interesting stuff to do, but they have no friends to go with, we can add that activity whenever we want. So I mean, we are not restricted to any specific area. And as Matar is saying, it's the mood that actually sets the idea and the need of what you like to do, more or less.
So it's a platform for experimentation, both for you to discover new things, but also discover new things with others.
Exactly.
Really cool. Any questions for the audience? From the audience?
That's why we're there.
Yes.
Well, I think that the idea of having ambassadors is very good. It will help to make great events and get people on board. But I was just thinking, do you guys have any protocol to ensure that those people who are being presented as your ambassadors are kind of go through some KYC so as for security reasons?
Security protocols.
I can take the question.
Should I take it or you want to take it?
I can take it.
Sure.
Because we have been talking to potential ambassadors, and of course this is going to be an agreement. So it's like a more or less like a business agreement with them. So not anyone can be an ambassador. So more or less the ambassador will work for Mood Social and represent Mood Social more or less. There are a lot of ambassadors doing this today, but on other platforms. And our research says when we talk to them, they are missing some key functions that we have. One of them is especially they don't want to take care of transaction when it comes to money. We will have that built in, and that's a huge thing for them. So we will only talk to, first we identify people who are already doing this, and then of course we have to do security checkups, and then we sign a contract with them. So that's how we will do it. I hope that answers your questions.
Yeah, and to add to that as well, but Meetup is a perfect example of that. I mean, for Meetup, for someone to be able to create activities, you have to pay for a group monthly. That means not anyone can even create activities. It's only a specific amount of people paying to do it. we do it for free, and we even offer them possibility to make more money from it. So that's a major difference as well, yeah.
Any question? Michael?
Yes. Mm. Yeah. I mean, technically we've already done it. That's not really the issue. But we also took it away because we were looking at the security aspect of it. Because on other social platforms, we have a lot of personal information, like you have photos of your kids, photos of your dog and stuff like that, and like maybe friends. And you don't maybe want everyone to have access to that or like see how that's integrated. So for us, we're kind of more or less looking for a way to like share what's needed in that case. Like make it simple for people to connect, but share also what's necessary. And this is also from a safety standpoint. So yeah.
Any final question? No?
Please come and talk to us, and you can have a look into the app and see how it's functional as well, and have a look and feel.
Let's get social.
Let's get social. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
So amazing to hear all the startups. Do you agree? Yeah. So what's going to happen now? Well, actually, we all want you to go to this corner and talk and ask questions to all the startups. Ask whatever kind of hard or easy questions that you can figure out. Because we need to have an empty space here, because we will fix a bit in the room here. So we need all to go there. And after we've finished with the arrangement of the furniture, we will continue the party with open bar and so on, so we're all free to stay. So just one thing before
we end. Ceremony.
We will have the ceremony now. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, now. So just before you go, we of course want to congratulate the startups for finishing the DigitalWell Ventures exam. So all startups team, please come up on stage here. All the startups team, please come up on stage. Come on.
DigitalWell Ventures cohort startups. Come on stage.
Come on up on stage.
Now we are going to have our ceremony.
Certification
ceremony. Yes.
Because these people have actually finished a 12-week very intensive Accelerator program.
Welcome. Great job.
Yes.
And
so, kan vi få av den här projektorn här? Anders, kan du stänga av projektorn? Här, bara. So, the first team that we want to congratulate is Team Happy, of course. Very good work. Very, very good work.
Very good.
And we have the certification here somewhere.
Yes.
Yes.
Happy.
Here is the proof.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And the next team is Team KEYNOTE, of course. Thank you and congratulations.
Congratulations.
And then we have Team I Want to Care. And we have Team Fire Mesh. Welcome and congratulations. And we have Team Health Going. Felicia. And Team Yoda Care. Christel.
Sorry. Yoda Care.
And Team Ducky.
Ducky.
And finally, but not least, Team Mood Social, of course, Matar and Andreas. Thank you and congratulations very much. Woohoo! So, now let's take some pictures of the team. Come on. Yeah. Woohoo! And share in your social media. Woo! Woo. Cool. Happier. Whoa.